I'm Jem, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I have created a digital diary of me speaking for 5 minutes every single day to try and improve my quality of speech and the way I communicate over camera. Oh my gosh, that was my best ever opening monologue. Side notes, I'm going to go back. I saw a cool tip, somebody else who's doing this on TikTok, and they count how many filler words they make during each video. I'm going to do that for this video. The reason I started this video today and I thought I'm going to do this now is I've just finished a CBT session for anxiety, and I thought I'd discuss some of my thoughts after it. So ultimately, it seems like what I tend to do is catastrophize most situations in my life. So I see everything as a worst case scenario situation. So it could be I hear a noise in the house. My first instinct will be that the house is going to blow up. I'm going to lose the house, when we're going to lose all of our family photos. We're not going to have anywhere to live. And I will ruminate on those situations throughout the day. That's just an example. What I found this week was really helpful was when those thoughts come into my head saying, you're catastrophizing here. The bit I want to work on more for the rest of this week is that, yes, I may be catastrophizing the situation, be aware of that, maybe acknowledge it, but not necessarily what I found myself doing is beating myself up on about catastrophizing the situation. That's really stupid of you. It's silly. Why are you doing that? Why do you think like this? That is not helpful, because then I'm beating myself up. And I'm cool. I like myself. So why am I being horrible to myself if I like myself? So that's something that I'm going to work on. The other one is creating hypothetical situations. It's the same thing. So an example I was using is when I walk the dogs, the area that I live, there can be adders, which is the only poisonous snake in the UK. And I know a lot of information about these snakes because I've done a lot of research again, because I was quite curious about these things that might kill my animal or myself. So when I went on the dog walk this week, I spent a lot of the time with the dog walk, instead of enjoying my dogs, being very happy, having a nice stroll with my husband and engaging and being present in our conversations while looking at the beautiful scenery. Instead, what I was doing was kind of doing those things on the outside, but internally I was looking at the floor, worrying and making sure that I was prepared for a potential snake bite. I'm going to add to this as well. There was another example we talked about, that when my husband's driving his car, and if a deer runs past the car from where we live, and I hyperfixate on the deer or the snake and these things that they could potentially do. And what the CBT guy was saying was, it's as if you're saying to yourself that if I worry, I am somehow in control of this situation, and the reason that we didn't hit a deer, or the reason we didn't get bit by a snake, or the dogs were bit by a snake, was because I worried so much. And that's, because I worried so much. Where ultimately, my husband walks the dog there all the time, and he drives down that road, doesn't do any of that worrying, and still nothing happens to him. And the worrying, what was the word? That worrying doesn't stop the bad things happening. So they're either going to happen or they're not going to happen. But me worrying about them is not going to make a difference. Anyway, I'm nearly 5 minutes into this video, but I found those things really interesting. So I'm going to go away and try and work through those through the week, not beat myself up. Maybe just acknowledge it and go, you were ruminating, you catastrophize there, and move on. And the other thing that I will try and do is divert my attention elsewhere during the dog walks, during the car rides, because then I'll be continually providing myself further evidence that without worrying, we were still okay. Anyway, that's the 5 minutes. Nice to speak to you. Goodbye.